Well, there's nothing quite as good as picking up your brand new truck, unless of course you're picking it up in the summer. Now it's not quite summer yet. We still have another month to go for that, but look at this. We are at Fort George Park, and it is just absolutely beautiful today in Prince George. And check this out. We are with Sandlyn Contracting's new 367 set forward, rigged and ready. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. It's delivery day. Check it out. Just absolutely gorgeous. She is popping today. So, like I said, guys, this is a 367 set forward. It is one of the last ones that I will ever be able to deliver. I've got one more to deliver after this, the black quad, but look at the stripes on this. Just, oh, fantastic. We've got the air breather lights, and there's like the Jetco with the 8 bullets. We've got the custom stripes. It just looks so good. They really nailed it there. Now here's something I like to do. Put the, I guess the hubcaps with the hole in it, so you can check your oil level, because at the end of the day, this is a work truck. And you know what? It's a pain in the butt to have to check your front hubs and pop your cover off. And another interesting fact when you do that, I've noticed that the front hubcaps tend to, it can create like a vacuum, and it actually, I think, sucks oil out. And that's really annoying because it makes a messier wheel. And I don't know what it is about the aerodynamics, but I haven't really had that issue lately. But I have had that in the past. So anyways, I love these front hubcaps because you can see your oil level. It makes it easy to check, and you don't want to neglect checking your front wheel hubs and their oil level, because you know what? Your front tires are kind of important. Kind of the most important part, actually. Well, most important except for, you know, the engine and the hood. And anyways, you get what I'm, you hear what I'm laying down. So yeah, just looks absolutely great. We've got the new speaker LED lights in it. Oh my gosh, look at that. Just looks so good. And these are the new Aeropod speaker headlight bulbs. Of course, it changes the whole guts. We've got this nice accent light on the side. We've got the side marker light and signal, and this is a heated lens, and it's thermatically controlled, so it will go on and off with the temperature. I'm not sure exactly what temperature they come on with, whether it's, you know, freezing or just above freezing, but yeah, they are thermatically controlled. So but look at that. Just looks fantastic. Love it. And this one does have an Arctic rig out on it. So Arctic Trailer did this. They've got your shovel holder here. I guess this would be shovel holder, paint can, if anyone still runs a paint can. We've got the Pulaski holder. We've got the nice chain trays to protect your DEF tanks. And this one is powder coated. The cab guard's powder coated, trays powder coated, chain hangers powder coated. Got a nice aluminum step on it. Of course, the Arctic Trailer Inc. poly fenders. We've got the Bridgestone L320 drive tires. We've got SI scale system, Holland FW35. Now this is what I call a poor man's slide. And when I say poor man's slide, it's because you can move it and slide it, but you have to undo these bolts. You can undo these bolts, move them to the position you want, and do them back up. Because really, with a Tridrive, once you get it set where you want it to get your steer axle weights, you really don't move it. You know, if you're low bedding or you're going to be pulling different trailers, you know, like say you wanted a real short trailer, or pardon me, a trailer with a not a very deep pin setting, then that's where it would be beneficial having a slider. But usually with a log truck, your trailer, your pin is always in the same spot. You're always pulling the same trailer. You never slide your fifth wheel, so we use what's called a poor man slide. You set it where you want it, and it's good to go. So, and you never move it. 69,000 pound new way suspension. Now this one, we did bring it in with a tail frame on it, so Arctic trailer cropped it. Because with New Way suspension, you actually get this rear cross member. If you order AirTrack, you do not get this rear cross member. So that's why we have kept this, and we didn't bother going with the cross member here because you don't need it because there's one here. So Meritor rear diffs with the Meritor drive line. We do have dual connections, so this is your trailer, air, and electrical. Now this, if you order it with a fifth wheel slide, this brown line is your fifth wheel slide. Now they just trimmed this off, but if you wanted to add a third locker switch on a Peterbilt, just pick up this yellow line, you mount a little valve right there, and you can tee in and have 3 independent lockers. Now Peterbilt only does, and I know I've talked about it in vlogs past, is Peterbilt only does 2 switches for your diff lockers on a Tridrive. So your front switch does your front axle, the second switch does your middle and rear axle. Now I used to be of the opinion that it should be on each axle. And it's certainly handy in certain applications, but I actually drove a truck for a while once that, that was set up the way these are set up, and I actually preferred it this way, because when you're starting to spin out or you're in a tricky situation and you want to get those other 2 lockers in, it's nice to have to only hit 1 switch to do 2 axles. So because when the poop's going to hit the fan, to hit all the switches sometimes is, you know, an extra step, and sometimes a half a second is that extra step that's the difference between, you know, spinning out when you break torque and not. Because I just want to remind people that when you do hit your lockers, you need to break torque. So you need to take your foot off the throttle, put your lockers in, or put your lockers in, then take your foot off the throttle so they can click in, and then once you see that they're in, then you can power down again. But because if you don't do that, you might hear a bang. And if you hear a bang, it's probably your power divider going, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. And you don't want that. So, and yeah, we've done a lot of power dividers. So yeah, I haven't blown up a power divider, but I've seen it done lots. So anyways, off topic. We've got our Peterbilt Pacific Inc mud flaps. Love those flaps. Just, you know, there's nothing better than a truck fresh out of detail, all nice and shiny. I just absolutely love it. And you know, this Arctic chain hanger bar, it's one that they've been using for years. It goes on top of the frame. The one thing I like about it going on top of the frame is it's super strong, and it also provides protection if a log falls down. You know, the ones on the side are a little bit nicer because you don't have the bar going across, except for the fact that when you mount them on the side, you don't have as much protection from falling logs, and they're also not as strong. Whereas like with this is super strong. So, and at the end of the day, you know what? Lots of times the log will fall down, or it'll fall and then they go and hit something. And that's where this one comes into play, because it is totally protecting this tank. Well, for the most part, I mean, unless it hit here, but it's close. And you know what? If you look at it from the side, if a log comes down, it's going to bounce off or here and slide off. But just an absolute beautiful looking rig out. Just beautiful. I've got side backup lights. Arctic's got their signature polar bear in there. We've got the clear LED lenses. Just looks great. I just absolutely love it. Love it. Look at that. You can see that metallic shining through. Oh, got the traditional moto mirrors on this one. It's if anybody's curious about the horsepower and torque, it's 565 X15, 2050 torque. It's my staple engine. You know, we're big horsepower people up here in the north. Like this truck, I believe is going to be pulling 9 axles. Right now, a legal 9-axle load on highway is 72,300 kilograms. So that's like 160,000 pounds. 9.6 wide bunks, so you know it's pretty big weights, and that's where the big horsepower comes in. 18-speed transmission, 4:3:0 ratio in those Meritor rear diffs. I really like the 4:3:0 ratio. With some Tridrives we've done 4:10 ratio, but I don't think a lot of people know that a 4:10 ratio in a Tridrive with a Meritor diff is actually only rated at 23,000 kilograms. So legal here in BC is 24,000 kilograms. For regular on highway. For logging with your winter tolerances, you can go up to 25.5 on one end. or 25. So that's where, you know what, a Meritor rear diff with 410s, you really, I mean, yeah, you can do it. And 410s work great if you're down south or you need to get your top speed, but 430s are just a lot better. You know, keep that gear reduction in your rear end, easier on your drive line and all the rest of it. But if you're really pushing for fuel economy, then yeah, we can do 410s as well. But my staple is 430s. 430s work. I actually prefer 456, but 456, you know, you're another deeper ratio again. A lot of people are still trying to find that happy medium between fuel economy and performance, and that's where the 430 comes in. But I myself, I had 489s, and you know, the only problem with 489s, if you're going to do like 120 kilometers an hour, say, what does that work out to, like 65 miles an hour, you know, you're going to be screaming. Actually, it's probably more than 65, maybe it's 70. But anyways, you're sitting like right on the pin at 1900. But when you're in the bush, those 489s, boy, they saved my butt a number of times, and they work fantastic. So if you've got lots of off-road, I would highly recommend going 489s. If you've got lots of highway, you know what, 410s is good. If you're looking for middle of the road, 430s or even 456. If you're leaning more off-road than on highway, then I would have no problems going 456. I think it's a great ratio, and it's a lot easier on your transmission. You know, in some heavy duty applications like mining and that, we found that going from a 430 down to a 456 or 489 completely changed, you know, how hard it was on transmissions in that application. So anyways, that's my opinion. Love my 489s, but you know what, if I was cruising down the interstate headed to New York, California, Texas, because I love my Texas boys, and you know what, I might want 373 so we could get in the big years, you know, get into one of those states where you don't have speed limits. As a Canadian, I'm really jealous of high speed limits, because you know what, here if you do 40 over, you get your friggin' vehicle taken away. What a bummer that is. But anyways, enough of that. So this is it, Sandlyn Contracting's new 367. I'll do a quick one of the inside. It's got the wood grain dash. Love the wood grain dash. The only negative to the wood grain dash is it's expensive. It's a $1,700 option, so it's not cheap. But check out this interior. It is just popping. Oh, I love it. Clean floor. Actually, the heated seat was on. I need to turn that off because it's too warm for a heated seat. But check this out. Yeah. Just absolutely love it. Now this one was driven from Denton, Texas, so that's why it's got 4,309 kilometers. They've already put their VHF radio in. In the 3 Series truck, this is the spot for VHF or CB. This is where your factory CB would come into play. There's 4 screws here, and there is power up in there. And if you order it with the auxiliary speaker, which is right here, the plug for it, excuse me, is just behind that panel. So that's something that I like to put in all my trucks, is this auxiliary speaker, so you can hear it a little bit better. And yeah, she's a nice truck. It's got the cell phone booster. It's the customer's. I'm not sure what that is. I think it was supposed to stick there like that, but this one's got the rear plug for a trailer gate, and this is where the lockers, right now I have the interlock in, because with the Tridrive, when you go over a bump, it'll lift a wheel, and that's where it can be hard on rear ends, because it can slip, and you know, you have a spin and then it grabs and it's hard on things. So a Tridrive, I almost say you should put your inner axle in and just leave it in forever. You know, only take it out once in a while to make sure you don't have a broken axle. And then when you need to lock up a diff, lock up your front one. And when you need the other two, boom, away you go. So anyways, we don't need that. This is our auxiliary switch for our chicken lights. And we've got 5 spare switches. Oh no, we've got 6 spare switches. So that's awesome. This is our, of course, our fuel tank gauge. I mean, you guys have seen it all before. And looking at this, the def is a little low. This was supposed to get filled up. So you know what? When I head back to the shop, I'm going to fill that up, because at the end of the day, every customer of mine, I want leaving with a full tank of DEF. And just not fuel, because you know what, fuel's pretty pricey. So, but I also don't like to send them out without fuel if I can. You know, as long as the red light's not on for the most part, you know, I'm not going to leave you empty. I always like to put 200 liters of fuel in for rig out and, you know, moving it back and forth. And like this one right here, the left tank has a quarter. And if we take a look, the right tank, I guess the right tank is a quarter. And if I flip it to the left tank, yeah, the left tank's got a little more. So, but yeah, anyways, that's it. I got another VHF radio there. Got stuff in the back there, the flares and stuff. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, this is Peterbilt Mike, and stay tuned for more exciting videos. And I'm going to go for a cruise now and enjoy this lovely spring weather we have. And take care, guys. Till next time.